So I don't know if you remember, but these times last year they was burning all the crops. They was burn. They wouldn't give out female seeds. So you couldn't grow your own tree, your own fruit, vegetables. They're taking all this the farmland, burning it down. All the good stuff. This is in America, by the way. I'm in Britain. Welcome, London City. Check this.
I hope you're all doing well and feeling good.
Listen to this,
It's a
dude.
pleasure to have you with me on my channel. As usual, I will discuss some topics that you might like.
Bear with me,
I understand that the quality of this video might not be the best,
but you'll
but I hope
understand
that
when
the
you read it.
content is still understandable and informative. If you're interested in learning more, I also have a Telegram
Something's
channel
going
where I
on in
share
America,
various
man. They're trying to
information
make
and content posted.
man kill each other.
And
That's
make
what they're
sure
trying to
you
do out there.
subscribe to my back
They're
attention
about to
channel
start
in case
starving
you'd like
people
to
to
see
death.
updates.
That is their plan.
So, without further
I
ado,
just pray to
let's
God
get
that
this
it's not going to happen
video
in
started.
England. But you, man, in America need to be careful. Check this out. Check this out.
I've got some news that's not exactly uplifting. I mean, I really had no idea things were this bad, but it's important that we talk about it. You see, we're facing a pretty severe food crisis right now, and it's hitting closer to home than we might like to think. Severe drought is crippling winter wheat production in the middle of the country. Agricultural production in many areas of California is being hit extremely hard by unprecedented flooding, and orange production in Florida is down more than 60% from last season due to a combination of factors.
Yeah, this.
Of course, this comes at a time when the entire world is dealing with a major food crisis. Even
Watch.
CNN is spreading the fear that we are currently in the midst of the worst food crisis in modern history. So, this is a year when we need US food production to be very strong, and that simply
Uh,
is not happening. No state produces more winter wheat than Kansas does, and right now, less than 20% of the winter wheat in the state is in good to excellent condition. Less than 20% of Kansas winter wheat is in good to excellent condition. The U.S. Drought Monitor says only 15% of Kansas's acres are not experiencing any level of drought stress. More than 36% of the state reported D4 exceptional drought, compared to just a little over 1% last year. D3 extreme drought conditions are hurting 16% of the state, with D2 severe drought hitting 13% of Kansas.
Bumble Clark told y'all. Told y'all. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to kick up all the turnouts in America, fight with every motherfucker, and then fuck with your food so you cannot eat to the point where, Carl, how long you think it's going to take for you to kick off like with your neighbour if he's got food and you ain't? Man, I get murked. You man have got yoggers out there. You man have got straps, sticks. What? We ain't. Check this out, mate. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Sorry, volume. Let's read what it says.
Excellent, and
Sorry.
33% very poor to poor. Oklahoma's and Texas's crops were rated at 26% and 18% good to excellent, and 40% and 47% very
Very
poor to
poor.
poor, respectively, he said. This is really bad news. Wheat prices just continue to escalate, and that is especially true for hard red winter wheat.
That's a loaf
The
of bread,
spread
mate.
between hard red winter wheat and soft red winter wheat has blown out to a record high as drought threatens crop yields across the Midwest and other major farming regions. Hard red winter wheat's premium over soft red winter wheat is $1.72 a bushel in Chicago on Tuesday morning, surpassing the 2011 record.
They are trying to
Meanwhile,
make
the
us
outlook
back.
for spring wheat is not particularly promising because U.S. farmers have planted the smallest amount of spring wheat since 1972. Out on the West Coast, too much water is the problem. In fact, 78 trillion gallons of water has fallen on the state of California in recent months.
When the fuck did it rain
40
out there?
dozen powerful storms later, 78 trillion gallons of water has been dumped on California, reversing a multi-year drought in a matter of months. Now the agricultural powerhouse state, producing about a third of the country's vegetables and three-quarters of its fruits and nuts, faces planting delays due to washed-out fields. When it comes to fruit and vegetable production, no other state even comes close to California, and so, we should be greatly alarmed that farms all over the state look like swamps at this moment. And this is just the beginning. The mountains in California are absolutely teeming with unprecedented amounts of snow right now, and when it all starts melting, all of that water is going to have to go somewhere.
Thanks, Hop.
California's snowpack levels varied by region, with the Southern Sierra snowpack reaching 300% of its April 1 average, and the
April
Central
1.
Sierra reaching 237% of its April 1 average.
One average.
And the critical Northern Sierra, home to the state's largest surface water reservoirs, is at 192% of its April 1 average. On the East Coast, the big news is what has happened to Florida orange production. At this point, it is down a whopping 60.7% from last year. Orange production in Florida is down 60.7% from last season, one of the lowest figures since the 1930s, according to U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates. This drop in production has been caused by citrus greening disease and a very tough hurricane season. Sadly, there are some farmers that have lost almost all of their oranges. Vernon Hollingsworth grew up in Florida among his family's orange trees, recently ravaged by a double whammy of disease and a hurricane that have sent juice prices spiraling and left farmers blinking in disbelief. On a recent March morning, the fifth-generation farmer drove a pickup truck through the rows in his grove, pointing out the damage from Hurricane Ian last fall, such as uprooted trees. I lost 95 to 97% of my crop, the 62-year-old told AFP, adding, "We're going to have to rebuild, and we need help to do that."
But Bill Gates has bought all the land up, hasn't he?
Like if you learned something. Also,
come on, man. What are they trying to do out there? They was burning all the crops. Remember on the YouTube about crops being burnt, all the spuds being burnt, farmers going crazy, government just commandeering the gaff, and now all of a sudden there's no food.
On top of everything else, the number of beef cows in the United States has dropped to the lowest level since 1962 because ranchers in the middle of the nation have had to cull their herds due to the historic drought.
And they're giving out 4 packs of...
Production has been hit by disasters in the past, but we have never had so many strike in such a short period of time. The weather just keeps getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah, because Harp's dealing with it.
As I make this video, approximately 70 million Americans are being warned that yet another multi-state tornado outbreak is on the way.
Yeah, NASA's just built in it.
Nearly 70 million Americans are bracing for yet another round of powerful storms as a severe system makes its way across the U.S. Tuesday,
Dirty
states from
bastards.
Texas to Michigan.
Thanks, NASA.
Set to strike this afternoon, the severe weather will bring damaging winds and potentially tornadoes to states in the already storms.
Watch to make it. Jeremy Clarkson.
After a deadly
Watch him.
Tornado outbreak crippled the region.
He made him make a cloud and it rained fucking 20 miles away.
Global food supplies just keep getting tighter and tighter, and the head of the UN World Food Program is warning that we literally could have hell on earth.
Hell on earth.
Careful. Beasley said WFP was just forced to cut rations.
Mind you got to understand that the World Health Organization want this world to be... We're about 8 million people now, right? But they want them to be half of that in 20 years. Klaus Schmidt, look at him. The geezer looks like a Bond villain. Come on, guys.
4 million people in Afghanistan, and these are people who are knocking on famine's door now. We don't have enough money just to reach the most vulnerable people now, he said. So, we are in a crisis over the cliff stage right now, where we literally could have hell on earth if we're not very careful.
Saw my videos.
Hopefully food supplies will be funneled to those that desperately need it in the months ahead.
Yeah,
but
rich.
Global hunger has been rising at a very rapid rate in recent years, and it is going to continue to rise.
Come on, mate.
Worldwide famine is inevitable no matter what decisions global leaders make now. All over the world, topsoil is being depleted at a frightening rate. Supplies of raw materials that we use for making fertilizer are becoming extremely tight, and farmland all over the world is being systematically poisoned by microplastics.
Saw the trains crashing and the ship being pumped into our fucking world.
Know this. But most people in the general population are totally clueless about all of this,
That's right.
so they have no idea what is coming.
Come on, man. You have to understand.
Time for me to hear from you.
You have to understand that they don't give a shit about you.
To be found
Government give a monkeys about us. They don't give nothing about us, my old son. What you have to understand is they're up to something. What they got? Why would you poke the bear? I'm not being funny, but like I can have a roll round the floor and that. But why would you poke a bear, especially when his name's Putin? Keep poking him, giving Ukraine money so they can have a fight with him, so they can have their own land and all this old bollocks. Well, good luck to them. I'm not being funny, but like I've got nothing against it, nothing to or say. But all I do know is Putin's a nutter, and you don't want to be kicking off with a fucking nutter like Kim Jong Un. Look, I'm not being funny, but at least Trump represented for him, went out and checked the geezer. Seems like they come to, I don't know, whatever kind of arrangement, but they didn't kick off. No comes fucking mercs, are they? And then instead, like, we want to go on poking Putin, like he's a Fraggle, like he's some kind of dumb onion. Sorry, I've had my syrup cut today, it's a bit wonky. But why would you keep poking a bear? It's Putin, for fuck's sake. He's got more missiles than you've got arseholes. Okay, and that's you, America, Mr. I'm fucking American, I can do what I want. Biden, come on, man, you're about, 82 years old. All you and your government, all you do is buy all the fucking, whatever, every industry that makes money, and then you pass it through the bills in the government, so you just constantly making money. How much fucking money do you want to make? Ask Nancy Pelosi how much money she want to make. She's 82-year-old, the bird. She'll be fucking home cooking fucking Christmas dinner for her fucking nan. More like a fucking great grandson. The old cunt. Excuse my French. But my point being is, they don't care about us. They don't care about you. They don't give a monkeys, all right? The only person that gives about you is you. Don't ever get it twisted. Watch what happens. How's this work out? How are they sending out 4 different pamphlets on how to fucking deal with zombies? Zombies? I don't even like them. I wouldn't even watch one of them films, so I'd be proper fucked. But why would they send out pamphlets on how to deal with zombies? And like all this, what was the other one? Oh God, there's a saying. But anyway, basically the moral to the story is they get COVID and they pimp it. So they've got labs in America that ain't even allowed to do it, but they're RS turboing COVID 80 times fucking stronger and all this old bollocks. In a lab in America, just round the corner, one of them little, I don't know, probably a schooly little lab, like a couple of 14-year-olds running it. I don't know, my old son, but all I do know is, why would you do it? Why would you do it? I'll tell you why they do it. Because you think that getting off your arse and going to work every single day of the fucking week is doing you a favour. Well, it ain't, because you ain't got no money, you ain't got nothing. You haven't got nothing. Oh, you might have one little treat in life, You might have this, a bike or a car or this or that. You get me? You might have one little fucking thing, but every month you're still scratching for your bit of dough to turn up, aren't you, from work? So every week they're just making you graft again and again and again and again. For fuck's sake, electric's free, we know that, right? Cancer's cured, we know that, long time listener. We've got cars that run on petrol. We've got things that could just make this planet healthy and constructive, but instead we got wankers like the Bushes, the fucking Bidens. Well, they're new to the mob, to my imagination. Barack and his husband, fucking Michael. He's got a bigger Corey than me. Have a look at DeGeneres. Have a look at that German bitch. What an old skimpo that is. Carl, mates, you want to hear the stuff I've heard about her? Oh, wicked, Count. Wicked. But what's Barack's old woman on there? On that programme. Have a butchers of that. See what a Corey looks like. Tell me if that ain't a Corey. You get me? Because I've got two bollocks and a prick. Ain't much of it, but I got them. But in the depth of it, what I'm trying to say is, if you think they give an absolute RS turbo about anyone other than themselves, have you heard? There's another thing called the government continuous act or something, which means if anything happens to like if a nuke goes off or anything, you've got 4 minutes. You'll get a text saying you got 4 minutes. Or you get I don't know whether it'll come up on a custard on a box. I don't know, but all I do know is most devices meant to get this 4 minute text. But what if the guy's on the Kazi? Sorry, I'm lean, but what if he's on the phone and he comes out 2 minutes late and he presses a button? We think we've got 4 minutes, you know, and we've got two. Boom, fucked. But like, I mean, what you can do in 4 minutes? What could you do in 4 fucking minutes? The phone lines will be blocked off, right? Because no one, baby. Come on, mate. Come on, you've been in New Year's. Come on, we've been to New Year's. Imagine everybody want to ring their mum or father or sister, cousin, daughter, husband, lover, wife, you know, whatever the fuck. Who's gonna be? You think Vodafone's still gonna be tearing the arse out? No, don't be stupid. You won't be able to get through to nothing. You want to buy a fucking RS, the old, remember the old, not RS radios, but the walkie-talkies, Sierra Oscar, not like that sound like a pig then, but what I mean is the fucking, hey, what was it called? With the big tash. Tom Selleck, not it. Was it? I don't know. Whatever. Smoking and the Bandits. What I'm talking about. Sorry, I've had a half a soup, so I'm a bit lean. But my point is, there's going to be drama very, very soon in America, right? America, all last year and early the year before, they was taking all the farmland and burning it, and there was geezers like farm owners kicking off like. Because they get paid for it. They don't get paid their whatever they're meant to, but they get, you know. So imagine they get $2,000. They probably get 1,500 quid, or I don't know. I ain't got a Danny, but not the full amount. But they're watching the geezers just take their spuds and throw them in a fucking pit and set them on fire. And the geezers who's having to do it's even done a video going, "Carl, mate, I can't believe this. At what we're burning," you know what I mean? And he's showing you all the good food that he's just wanking. And I'm not being funny, mate. If we didn't have people like them American wankers who think they know everything and absolute no napo. Remember, British rule the wave, right? No disrespect to you, my friends, in America. I'm talking about your wanky government. Because I'll tell you for why. No one needs to go work. No one needs to earn a pound note. No one needs to graft from 9 to 5 every day. Nobody needs to do nothing. We just need to stop drilling the life out of the planet and try looking after it instead of turning it into an absolute carsy. Because not being funny, but like I've been to better looking crack houses than some of the places I've seen in the water where where the fishes can't even swim because there's so much bollocks in there, you know, and like no one seems to do much about it. Oh, geezer's invented a little robot boat, you know, he sails around and sucks up fucking a gram of plastic. Well done, mate. You know, good on you. Why don't we do one that weighs about in 5 ton or something, so we can suck it all up and get rid of all that shit and look after our world and look after each other. And like, I know I waffle and all that old toffee, but why not, like, you have to understand, they're trying to push us away from each other, but don't have it. Don't have it. You know, we are all human. We are from the human race, man. And we need to back each other, right? You hear me? We need to back each other. So, like, come on, you gotta be decent, honourable, respectful. That's what they're trying to swerve us, trying to stop us going into the bleeding hospital when my old man got sick. Well, I can't go in there. I couldn't give a monkey's what you got to say because there ain't a security guard big enough. Let's have it right because it's my old man. And if there's something bad happening, you think I'm waiting at home, do ya? Well, that's what they done. They locked us indoors, give us the shits for 2 years. 2 years. I drove all the way to flipping. I drove about 40, 60 miles, about 100 miles to see my old man. Meet him in McDonald's. I pulled the car up next to him, window to window. We were 6 foot away, car distance from each other. And he'd done his fucking window up to an inch whilst I started to speak to him. And do you know what that felt like? What is he fucking? You know, is he that scared that he's gonna die? Seriously, is he that ditched that he's gonna be brown bread over the strength of hearing? I don't know. It's like we got the plague. You know, it's not his fault. He's old man. You know, and all that. But it just really hurt. You get me? And that's all they want to do is just keep us apart, keep us apart, so away from each other. So fuck that, man. Forget that. How about we start like bopping past each other and looking, and if you're looking at someone and you nod at them, you go, all right, mate, how you doing? All right, bud, just hello, all right, yeah. Not even like, all right. You know what I mean? Someone looks at you, you give them a smile. You don't give them a fucking moody look or look away. If somebody looks at you, give them a smile. All right? Carry on with your business. You get me? Decent, man. Let's be friends. Come on. God, that's what they're trying to take from us. And then try to blag us with like there's aliens and all this old toffee and the world ain't flat and rare. Well, mate, it's about time people started doing their own work and realised that what we have been told since I was fucking, well, for 40 years ago, well, before that, so say it for 40 odd year ago, man's being told how the world is, where it comes from, what it does, the world was created in one bang, bang, fuck me, the world's here. Well, that's handy. Where did all the fruit and veg come from? I don't know, but anyway, it's still have a long team. Ask Graham Hancock, gangster, or Billy Carson, another gangster. I'd love to meet them. Don, serious. You need to start waking up, man, because if you don't, you can't be ignorant to everything because you'll be scared. You know, like what we meant to do if we did see an alien come fucking downhill, right? I'll tell you what'll happen is the army will turn up and start trying to ping it. And like that's not that's not how you greet someone. Maybe you let them drop and see what they're saying, all right? Yeah, all right, you little midget person or whatever the fuck you are. But if you're a giant reptile with got, you know what I mean? You've got America, come on, bruv. You've got enough straps to be able to whack out anything. I just don't know where you lie for. And all NASA, it's just a big lie. Like, well, you run from the sea. You run from the sea, you bossy house. And then try to update you on the moon. What's that moon thing? What's the moon thing? Stanley Kubrick done a good job. And they try to say, oh well, we got somebody to do a bit of it happening just in case the line cut out. Well, how the fuck would they know what they was gonna do when they're getting off a fucking aeroplane, fucking aircraft, whatever the fuck it was, a rocket? Right? They're jumping off a rocket, bouncing about, chucking in fucking sand signs on, oh, this is our manor. Right? We've got a flag poked up and all that, and dancing about, falling over and all that. Stanley Kubrick done that. And they've even told you, oh yeah, no, we got that because just in case there was a technical glitch. Because for what is it? The more people ever watched that. I think it was like 32 million people or something. The whole world basically who had a telly in them days, which was like a big thing to have a custard. And now, like it turns out that it was all toffee, complete toffee. We ain't been to the moon. We can't get out off the planet. You know, there's a good thing called the firmament. Even Eric von fucking Spunky Brown Mr. Hitler's best mate, who we nicked over here, and they'd had him run NASA till he died a few years ago. You know what I mean? This is the rocket expert. The rocket expert. Yeah. What a chap. What a chap. You know what I mean? 29 of their best fucking diabolical soldiers. You know, like ones who are clever fuckers, time machines, fucking all sorts. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't have to believe it if I told you. But all I do need to say is, listen to me, please. Get your shit together, right? Go check your family. Make sure that you are together. Well, God forbid we get a text message saying about what does my eyelid red? God forbid we get a text message saying like we've got 4 minutes, because fuck me, if I get told I've got 4 minutes, what are we going to do with that? You know what I mean? Can't ring me, well, ring my son in first thing, wouldn't it? Ring me boy, but like you can imagine it, like if people got that text message, the first thing they do is ring their loved one. That's not going to happen. You know what it's like on New Year's Eve, and that is not everybody. That's just fucking the people that can be bothered to stay up till 12 bells, and I can't these days because it ain't worth a light, is it? What's the point in just wanking? You know what I mean? It's just a toffee.